Welcome to the San Antonio Housing Market Report for March 2025. And today we want to look at mortgage rates. Is the housing market starting to feel a little bit lucky right now with mortgage rates? Really quickly, I'm going to share this article with you here from CNBC. And it says weekly mortgage demand surges 20% higher after interest rates drop to the lowest since last year. So a bit of good news for those folks that are originating mortgages and buying. They're seeing some lower rates, nothing to get so excited about, but it is enough for some people to act. And it says here, the average contract to interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgages with conforming loan balances $806,000 $500 or less decreased to 6.37% from 6.88%. So it was nearly at 7%, and now we're inching closer to 6.5% mortgage rates. Total mortgage application volume jumped 20.4% last week compared with the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index. This was actually last week when this was published, and rates have remained relatively stable since this article was written. This was not only the first increase in 3 weeks, but it is an outsized weekly move. So they're saying this was a pretty big move. More on this here. You can read the entire article on CNBC. And it says here, I want to skip down to the reasoning. Mortgage rates declined last week on souring consumer sentiment regarding the economy and increasing uncertainty over the impact of new tariffs levied on imported goods into the U.S., said Joel Kahn, an MBA economist, in a release. Those factors resulted in the largest weekly decline in the 30-year fixed rate since November 2024. And I want to share a quick illustration of what mortgage rates have been doing this year in 2025. Here we have it. Mortgage rates, with a slight 2-week increase into 2025. Well, since then, it's been nothing but a straight decline. And this kind of syncs up with the article that we just read here about the souring consumer sentiment on the economy. Now, housing, obviously, there is a sour sentiment there. About 80% of buyers, sellers think it's not a good time to buy, particularly because of home prices and interest rates. But as you can see, with the result of lowering interest rates even down to 6.75, buyers and sellers alike are reacting to that information and jumping back into the market a little bit. So maybe you're feeling lucky. We are upon St. Patrick's Day, so if you're feeling lucky in the housing market, you might be able to get a lower interest rate, albeit it's not interest rate with a 5 in front of it. Maybe this is your time. Who knows? So on to the San Antonio housing market data. So here we are. This is all data accumulated through the month of February here in San Antonio. And as you can see, we're still slightly in a seller's market. I know some folks feel like they're not in a seller's market, but the fact remains we have 4.3 months worth of inventory as a whole. Some neighborhoods are better, some neighborhoods are worse. We did have an increase in inventory of 8.31% month over month in February. We'll see what that looks like in March after that data has rolled in. The sold to list price ratio for the month of February is 97%. So not a big change there in sold to list price ratio. Almost flat. Days on market, homes are on the market for typically 56 days in the median price range. Okay, that's actually down 6.6% 6-7% month over month. So they're actually staying on the market less time, okay, by almost 7%. The typical median sold price for homes, okay, your typical home selling in San Antonio is the price was $285,500. That's slightly up, almost 2/10 of a point. And property values, home values in San Antonio for the month of February actually inched up about 0.1%, okay, 0.1%, and over the last 12 months down 0.7%. So really, if we're looking at it, it's super flat for home values since 2023. Home values have been just kind of, just steady, steady, steady. Some neighborhoods are better, some neighborhoods are worse. Newly listed homes in San Antonio for the month of February. Home prices for those homes listed are coming in at $311. We'll call it $312,000 for the newly listed homes in San Antonio. That's up 2.3%. So they're asking more when they bring it on the market. And the number of properties being sold, okay, or listed, is up 4.7% month over month. We have 2,444 properties as of that came in as new listings in February. So great news for home buyers. If you're looking for a home, there's more homes out there to choose from. And as you can see here, over the last 3 years, it's we've had a roller coaster here. Okay, but right now we're seeing more homes being listed in the month of February. So let's go back and let's see together what that looked like in 2024. So here we are in 2025. This is the sales price, or the list price. Let's go to the number of properties being sold or listed as new. February 2025, 2,444. And let's go back to last year. All right, 2,122. Let's call it that. So yes, we're up year over year. We are up in listing activity, which is a good sign for home buyers. You're gonna have more to choose from this spring. So take advantage of that. Hopefully, something in your budget is there on the market. The typical home size that is being listed is actually rising, and that's normal in the spring. We start seeing those larger family homes go on the market. People start thinking about making that move through the summer. So the quite naturally, the living area square footage is going to rise throughout the spring and into the summer. Active listings. These are the homes that have already been on the market. They are for sale. They could be 6 months old, 90 days old. The active listings on the market comes in at a median price of $309,945. So there's already some deals out there, price-wise, on the market already that have been sitting there. So don't forget about those. They're ready to negotiate. Those are probably some of the most motivated sellers that you're going to find on the market. They've had their home on the market. They just need an offer, okay? Don't worry about what they're going to say. Make them an offer, okay? Number of properties that are in the active status, 7,332 properties on the market. That's up 4.8%. If you're a home buyer, definitely what you want to see. If you're a seller, something to definitely think about. You have more competition month over month, and that has not been changing. Check this out. This is the median list price, okay, for active listings. That list price has been coming down, okay, over the last 3 years. Okay, the number of properties, active listings, this is on a yearly basis, last 3 years. The number of properties year over year has been steadily increasing. Okay, here we are in 2025, and as you can see, we kind of hit our low for active listings in January, and so now you can see at the very end here, we're starting to tick up. I don't know how much more this is going to tick up through the spring selling season, But definitely something to think about as far as trends and what that means. Okay, if you're a buyer, you love to see this. If you don't already have a home, if you're a seller, maybe you're not so pumped about this because it means there's more competition again. Days on the market, typical days on the market for those that have already been on the market, 63 days on the market for those active listings. New pending listings, median list price coming in at $292,000. So I'm finding anything with a 2 in front of it as far as list price starts doing very well in the housing market right now. Typical size for those homes that are going into contract, 1,827 square feet. Pending listings for February came in at a median list price of $304,995. Let's see here. Square footage for those pending listings came in at 1,937 square feet. And then, of course, our sold listings for February, the typical sold price came in at $285,500. And the number of properties that went under contract there, down 8.4%, 1,146 properties. We're looking at year-over-year sales, so we're still in that declining trend there for number of sales. It will start coming back up here this spring, and of course interest rates are going to impact what happens there with the number of sold listings. And now supply, months of supply and inventory. As we recap this, we started off, we had around 4.2 and change as supply. Last month we added another 8.3% in monthly change in supply, and over the last 12 months we've seen a 15.3% increase in supply inventory. So where do we go from here? Continue to pray for lower interest rates, but definitely, in my opinion, it is all about making offers, making those those difficult offers. I know a lot of folks, when they are out shopping for homes, the last thing they want to be told is no. And I can tell you, I've seen some deals in the MLS where you think, my goodness, how in the world did that deal happen? But if you look at it, it's because somebody made an offer. It's quite simple. Sellers, they want to get as much as they want to get. Okay, that's perfectly natural. Sellers should want to get as much as they can. If you're selling something, you should get as much as you can if you can. And if you're a buyer, you should get it as low as you can if you can. Now, it's not always the price. Sometimes it's just the terms. So if you're considering buying, selling, and you're wondering what's best in your situation, give me a call, 210-260-6617, and I can lay out some options for you that make sense, hopefully, and you can make a decision on what works best for you. 210-260-6617. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.